Before we get to the video, check out my Patreon linked in the description of this video, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content such as sneak peeks at projects like upcoming videos, dioramas, stop motions, photography. You'll get a shout out in videos like this one. I also take video requests. You can see behind the scenes of my stop motions in toy photography, as well as exclusive stop motions in photography. Again, you get all these perks on my Patreon for $5 a month. Link to join in the description of this video. Now let's get to it. Alrighty, you guys, so as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, a little bit of a touchy subject that I've been thinking of. I actually had this video idea for a couple months now, since like September, because I saw people talking about this online. I think it was on TFW or something like that, and I was like, you know, this is an interesting topic to discuss, because this day could come at some point. And, you know, Peter Cullen, he is an amazing voice actor, seems like a great guy going by his interviews and just how he treats fans and everything like that. He seems like a really nice man. But he is getting up there in age. You know, he's in his 80s now. He's been doing Optimus Prime for 40 years at this point. And with how Hasbro in Paramount and whatever's been involved, I don't know for sure if Hasbro, if it was just Paramount or whatever, or Lorenzo, or the stories we've heard, but, you know, he's been mistreated over the years in certain instances, like with his audition for the 2007 movie and during the Bumblebee movie, and probably some other stuff I'm forgetting, or maybe other stuff that isn't even known to the public right now. But, you know, just keeping that in mind, and plus, there will be a day that Peter Cullen won't be around to voice Optimus Prime. You know, just keeping those two things in mind, it really makes me question and wonder, how will Hasbro and even Paramount, it makes me think, how will these two corporations handle the voice of Optimus Prime, especially in movies? Because, you know, that's Peter Cullen's meat and potatoes these days. It seems like Hasbro is cheaper than ever at this point and really doesn't want to hire Peter Cullen to do the voice of Optimus, even though for Earthspark they brought in like major actors, like I think they brought in Keith David and the guy that played the butler in Dark of the Moon. I'm trying to blink on his name, but he's a pretty big actor too. But I digress. You know, I honestly don't know, guys. Will they use AI to recreate Peter Cullen's voice one day? It could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now, it could be 20 years from now. Who the hell knows? I'm just saying that to save money, and plus, you know, there's going to be a day where Peter Cullen, God forbid, he's not going to be here, and this is something that I think could very well happen, unfortunately, just because these corporations do not really care about this sort of sentimental stuff, or being, you know, sort of loyal to certain people. It's just not in the brand of corporations across the world, and especially in American capitalism. It's just not something that really happens too often. And, you know, to save money, to quote unquote be innovative, you never know how they're going to spin stuff like this. They could use AI to recreate Optimus's voice. We don't know how they're going to handle Darth Vader's voice with Disney. When we see Darth Vader in something else, that could be sort of a testament, if you will, to how Hasbro could handle Optimus Prime's voice in movies or whatever. This is what I would want Hasbro and Paramount to do. I think they should just hire somebody else, like, I don't know, somebody that isn't copying Peter Cullen, but somebody that's just trying to, you know, convey Optimus Prime in a way that is seen through the actor's lens and what they're trying to convey with whatever that iteration of Optimus would be, whether that's live action or a show or whatever. You know, we've seen good examples of that over the years, like with Gary Chalk in Unicron Trilogy, David Kay in Animated. The guy who voiced Optimus in Earthspark recently did a great job. I forgot the guy's name in Robots in Disguise 2001, but he was pretty good too. You know, voices like that is a good example of doing your own version of Optimus based off of what that version of the character is. And I think that is the most ideal to kind of preserve the legacy of Peter Cullen's Optimus Prime. I don't think copying him in a cheap way would be good. sort of like what happened during Cyberverse. Like, it just seems kind of cringe to me. I don't know, just something about it just doesn't sit right. And plus, the voice doesn't sound right. I just didn't like that whole thing in Cyberverse. And, you know, how they handled it during Bumblebee, from what we know, with, I forgot that guy's name, Epic Voice Guy or something. But just doing imitations of Peter Cullen for official stuff just doesn't sit right with me. I just think whenever this does happen, that they shouldn't recreate his voice with freaking robot technology or getting somebody else to copy his voice, but just move on and do something new and different with the character, and just leave Peter Cullen's legacy of his voice and interpretation of the Optimus Prime character intact, and not mess with it any further. Because once you start messing with it, I feel like it really kind of waters things down and kind of muddies things in a way that you really can appreciate things. And especially for the newer generation that gets into Transformers, whether that's 5, 10, or 20 years from now, it does the exact same thing, but 10 times worse probably, because they don't know. So just stuff like that I've been thinking about, and a lot of people obviously in the fandom think about this every year as, you know, time goes on and Peter Cullen gets older, and Hasbro and Paramount and all these corporations get weirder and greedy and using AI and stuff like that. It is sort of a topic to kind of just keep in the back of your head, because you never know what could happen with Optimus Prime's voice and Peter Cullen's voice of this character going forward. But I don't know, guys, I just kind of want to talk about this for a little bit. I hope Hasbro takes the high road, sort of, and just, you know, does something different and move on with the Optimus Prime character if Peter Cullen is no longer able to voice him, and they don't, you know, mistreat him and AI his voice or try and get someone to copy his voice like what they've done in the past just to save money. But yeah, guys, let me know down below. How do y'all feel about this topic? Do you think Hasbro would ever use AI to recreate Peter Cullen's voice? God forbid if he passes away or he can't voice the character anymore. Or do you think if that did happen, they would just get a totally different person to copy Peter Cullen's voice? And yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye.